everybody, Junior Asparagus here. Today we're going to show you how to make penguins. Well, not real penguins, but tasty snacks that look like Mr. Nezer's penguins from the toy that saved Christmas. My mom told me that first you'll need some jumbo black olives and some small black olives pitted. You'll also need some cream cheese, chopped chives, salt and pepper, toothpicks, and one big old carrot. If you want to add Bob and Larry and me, you'll also need a cherry tomato, a small pickle, a small spear of asparagus, and another big old carrot. Tyrone and Matthew are going to help me out today. Hi, Tyrone. Hi, Matthew. They're my friends. Okay, now you'll need to get a grown-up. Very important. Get a grown-up to slice the side of each jumbo olive and chop the chives. That is, if you like chives. You don't have to use them. The grown-up will also have to slice the carrot into rounds and cut out a triangle for the feet. Don't eat the triangle yet, okay? You're gonna need it in a minute. Let's see, what's next? Okay, after the grown-up is done, mix the cream cheese, chives, salt and pepper, and put it into a pastry bag. If you don't have a pastry bag, any plastic bag will do. Just cut one little corner with some scissors. Now this is the fun part. Squirt a little cheese mixture into each jumbo olive. Take the little carrot triangle beaks and press them into the small olives. Just like that. Here's a hint. A grown-up might have to cut a wedge in the small olive first to hold the beak. That's what Mom did for me. Oh, great. Now it's time to put it all together. Take a jumbo olive, put it on a carrot slice, and then put the small olive on top of the large olive. Aren't they great? But wait, there's more. If you want a whole VeggieTales scene, just like in the toy that saved Christmas, take a small pickle, a cherry tomato, and the top of a little spear of asparagus and put them on a carrot sled and put the whole gang on a little plate of cottage cheese snow. You might even want to dress us up with scarves and hats and earmuffs. Be creative. Use whatever you have around the kitchen. Like this, we used corn chips for the feet, and Mom made earmuffs out of blueberries. And there you have it. Bob, Larry, the penguins, and me. It's not really us, but don't be afraid to eat up. You know, veggies are good for you. Snack time!
One more. Smile.
Hello, children! Je suis Madame Blueberry, and today we are going to make the cookies we call Turtles of Damascus, just like we saw in the Star of Christmas. To make these yummy treats, you will need a recipe for the chocolate chip cookies and a bag of pecan halves. If you don't have a favorite recipe for the chocolate chip cookies, you can follow ours. Or a package of refrigerated cookie dough will work as well. And we are also going to use some chocolate and some caramel sauce. The utensils. You will need a mixer, a cookie sheet, a cooling rack, and a spatula. These two delightful children are going to help me today. This is Gresham, and this is Laura. Hello, children! Aren't they precious? May we back to work? Now, you must ask a grown-up to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Then, wet your pecans or put them in a bowl of water while you prepare the chocolate chip cookie dough. For the dough, you will need a stick of butter softened, 1/4 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 egg, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of oats, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, some pinches of salt, and 1 cup of chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, even butterscotch chips if you like. Mix the butter, sugars, vanilla, and egg in a mixer or by hand. Add the flour, oats, baking powder, baking soda, and salt, and mix some more. Finally, add in the chocolate chips.
These are gonna be good.
Make little balls out of the cookie dough by slightly wetting your hands and rolling the dough in your palms. Très bien! That means very good. To make the turtle, arrange the pecans on a baking sheet for its head and legs, just like Gratian is doing. Put the ball of cookie dough between the pecans and give it a little smush so the dough and the pecans are touching. Repeat for all the turtles, making sure they are 2 inches apart. Ask your grown-up to put them in the oven for 12 minutes, and then to gently remove them from the baking sheet and let them cool on a cooling rack. As a final touch, we are going to drizzle them with a little bit of caramel and chocolate sauce. Chocolate and caramel, so French. So, what do you think?
These turned out great. Uh-huh.
They look just like turtles, no? And not just any turtle, but the Turtle of Damascus. Bon appetit!
Hi, everyone. Julia here with one of my favorite desserts. Minnesota has always had a problem with worms, but these ones are the really tasty kind. Here's what you'll need to make this delicious treat. 1 package of Oreo cookies. I like the double stuffed kind. A 3/4 cup of butter. 1 package of cream cheese. 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. A full container of Cool Whip. 1 package of yummy gummy worms. And a large package of instant chocolate pudding. You'll need some milk to mix into your pudding, but follow the directions on the box. Finally, you'll need a 9 by 13 pan to put it all together. This is Grace and David, and they are going to help us today. First, we need to mix up the pudding with our milk. Once it is mixed nice and smooth, put it in your refrigerator to cool while we prepare the rest of the dessert. Now we need to make the crust with Oreos and some melted butter. Remember to set aside some of the cookies for the topping. This next part is really fun. We have to crush up the cookies to make our dirt crust. You can use a rolling pin and a freezer bag, or just crush them up in a bowl. Next, we'll need to add our melted butter and stir it all together. Now we're going to use our pan and spread our cookie and butter crust along the bottom of the pan. It's looking tasty, huh? In a clean bowl, we'll mix together the cream cheese and confectioner's sugar to make up our filling. For this part, you'll need your mom or dad to help you with a hand or bowl mixer. After the cream cheese and sugar are mixed thoroughly, use a spatula to gently mix in the container of Cool Whip. Now we can add our filling to our cookie crust and spread it evenly. You can get your bowl of chocolate pudding out and carefully spread it over the top of the cream cheese filling. Oh, it looks good enough to eat, doesn't it? We're almost done, but we have 2 more things to add first. If you didn't crush them up before, you'll need to crush up the cookies you set aside for the topping. Sprinkle them over the top. Finally, we can take out our gummy worms and put them in our tasty mud. You can stick the worms all the way into the pudding, but I like to have them sticking out a little bit. Oh, great job, everyone. We'll put the finished treat into the refrigerator for an hour, and then you can dig in. I hope you enjoyed making this recipe as much as I did. I better go tell Cuke that his favorite worm treat is ready. Goodbye. See you next time.
Hello and welcome to the Secret Elf Tree, where my brother Jerry and I...
Hi there.
Where we bake some of the best tasting cookies you'll ever eat. We've decided to let John and Millie show you how to make our secret jeweled cookies.
They're tasty.
These are a little different from the ones Jimmy baked in the show, but just as yummy. To make this delicious treat, you'll need these ingredients. 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla. You'll also need 2.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Now for the secret ingredient. Candy. Any hard candy will work, like Lifesavers or Jolly Ranchers.
It's time to make some cookies. Start by beating the egg, and then adding butter, sugar, and vanilla.
Get out another bowl and mix the flour, baking soda, and salt.
Add the dry ingredients into the butter mixture. You'll have to add a few tablespoons of water as you mix them together until a stiff dough forms. Cover the bowl and chill in your fridge for 1 hour.
It's a long time to wait when you got sporks coming at you.
You could take this opportunity to watch Lord of the Beans again and see how great I look with my bow and arrow.
Or you can go ahead and crush up the candies.
Oh, right. Have your mom or dad help you with this part. You can either put your candy in a food processor or crush it up in a Ziploc bag with a rolling pin. Okay, now it's time to take out our dough and lay it out into unique shapes. Line a cookie sheet with aluminum foil and then make up any shape you can think of.
I like stars and bean shapes.
Have your mom or dad help you with this part. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and bake the cookies for 10 minutes or until they are golden brown. Then take them out, but be careful, they will be hot. Fill the insides of the shapes with crushed candy right up to the tippity top of the cookie. Have your mom or dad put the cookie back in the oven, but this time watch them carefully. In about 3 minutes, the candy will melt, and they will be ready to come out.
They don't taste very good if the candy bubbles.
Let the cookies cool completely before you take them off the sheet. Then you are all done! Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Be sure to share your cookies with everyone. If you want to make a special gift, have your mom or dad put some string through the top of the cookie to make a tasty Christmas ornament. Hope you enjoyed making these secret cookies. We sure had fun.
Goodbye.
Bye!
Thanks for joining us at the virtual Cafe La Mancha.
Yes, today we're going to share one of our favorite recipes for chip dipping. It is called the Bean Dip of LaMancha. Clever.
This is Will and his sister Caitlin. They're going to show you how it gets put together.
Here are the ingredients you'll need. 1 can of refried beans, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of cumin. 2 large avocados and 2 teaspoons of grated onions. A cup of sour cream and 2 cups of Mexican blend grated cheese. For toppings, you'll need 1 cup of green onions chopped, a cup of chopped tomatoes, and half a cup of black olives sliced.
You can also add some other fun toppings like the ones you'll see us use.
Well, I do believe it's time to get to work. Open your can of beans and mash them up in a small bowl. Add the garlic powder and the cumin.
You may need to add a bit of sour cream to get it to spread easily. I know I always do.
Good tip, Poncho, my old friend. Now get out a large platter and using a spatula, spread the bean mixture evenly.
The next part is very important. Ask your mom or dad to cut the avocados in half lengthwise and remove the seeds.
Scoop the insides into another small bowl and add the grated onion.
Mash it all up with a fork until it is smooth and spreadable. Then add it carefully on top of your bean layer.
As you spread it, be sure to keep it half an inch from the edge all the way around. Now you can add the sour cream in the same manner.
This is starting to look tasty, huh? Now add a layer of shredded cheese and you are almost done.
You have a decision to make now. You can finish the recipe with the rest of the toppings, which looks like this.
Or you can try something artistic and make little vegetable faces on top like Will and Caitlin are doing.
Either way you choose, I think you'll agree that this is one great bean dip.
And unlike Don's extra spicy hot sauce, you won't get nightmares from eating this with chips.
Ah, true, Poncho.
Well, that does it for us. Thanks for stopping in at the Cafe La Mancha, where the food and service are par excellence.
Stop by anytime.
Goodbye.
Well, we're going to show you a recipe. We're going to show you how to make chocolate Play-Doh so you can do it at home with your mom. This is Emma, Journey, Bridge, and Jessie Lyric. Well, first of all, we start with chocolate. You want to hold the chocolate? You want to eat some chocolate? Okay. We're going to have 10 ounces of chocolate and a half of a cup of corn syrup. Now we're going to put them into a microwave-safe bowl and pop them in the microwave. Just melt it at 30-second intervals and check it every 30 seconds because it's easy for chocolate to get burned, and sometimes they actually keep their shape even though they're melted, so you'll want to stir them halfway through. Look at that. Now we're going to stir it up really good. When you get the chocolate all mixed in with the corn syrup, you're going to pour it out onto the wax paper. Spread it out with your fingers, just a little bit. Okay, now lick your fingers, and I'm going to cover this and put it in the fridge. Like this. Now let it sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour until it solidifies just a little bit.
The bunny, whoa, I ate the bunny. I didn't eat my soup or my bread, just the bunny. The bunny, the bunny, oh, I love the bunny.
Well, when you've had quite enough fun with your chocolate, you can save it in the refrigerator, or if you make a masterpiece like little Bob and Larry here, you just put it back on the wax paper, and you can smooth it out if you want to, or just stick it back on. And as you can see, it's a big chocolatey mess, but it is a lot of fun to do with your kids. And the best part is, you can eat it. Everyone say bye.
Hi everyone, this is Nikki the Pepper. We've got a family activity that'll show you a way to help others. This is the Parolini family. They're going to demonstrate how to make Bob and Larry's yummy sugar cookies. Grown-ups, to make this a little fun, before you get started, be sure to make recipe mix-up cards. To do this, you'll need to write the measurements and the ingredients on separate 3x5 cards, or just use strips of paper. We'll have some fun trying to figure out which amounts are needed for each ingredient. Here's a list of what each card should say. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 3/4 cup white sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 3/4 cup butter. Now kids, your job will be to take the measurements and figure out how much of each ingredient you need. For instance, you see that you'll need 2 cups of something. Does this look right? Does this look right? How about this? Think it over, and then once you're done, you can compare your recipe with Bob and Larry's.
2 cups of flour.
That's exactly right. Very good.
Once you have it figured out, it's time to head to the kitchen and get cooking. Follow the recipe and have fun. Preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Bake for 13 to 15 minutes, being careful not to brown. While the cookies are baking, talk about giving in secret. In our story, Nikki, that's me, learned about giving in secret even when it wasn't easy. Think of someone you could help by giving to them in secret. Maybe even some of these yummy sugar cookies. I hope you enjoyed this family activity. Remember, God loves it when we help others. Goodbye!
Hi everyone, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Bob. Today I'm going to show you how to make some of our favorite VeggieTales recipes. So get your rolling pins ready, because we're about to whip up some tasty treats. Remember, cooking can sometimes be a little tricky, so make sure you ask an adult for help before starting any recipes. I'll walk you through each recipe step by step. It's all about having fun. So let's get cooking. So let us begin with a VeggieTales favorite, Incredible Edible Veggie Bowls. First, let's gather up all the ingredients we're going to need. 1 cucumber, 1 green pepper, 1 bunch of celery, 1 bag of mini carrot sticks, and your favorite salad dressing. To start off, let's wash all the vegetables. Let's get them nice and clean. Now we want to cut all the veggies into slices that are a bit easier to eat. Let's start with the pepper. Cut the pepper in half and remove all the seeds from the inside. Now let's cut 1/2 of the pepper into long slices. Just set aside the other half of the pepper for now. Once you've got that down, let's move on to the celery. We're going to cut the celery into slices that are about 5 or 6 inches long. Don't worry about being exact. We just want them to be long enough for dipping. Let's keep the chopping going and cut up some slices of cucumber. This next step is easy. Open the bag of mini carrots. Voila! Next, pour your favorite salad dressing into the remaining pepper half. Now comes the really fun part. Dip the pepper slices, celery sticks, cucumber slices, and carrot sticks into the pepper bowl to eat. And that's it. You just made your very own incredible edible veggie bowls.
Easy to remember.
You bet.
Here's a simple snack to keep your brain on track. I call it Very Veggie Peanut Butter Logs. First, let's get all the ingredients together. We're going to need 3 stalks of celery, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, and about a handful of dried cranberries or raisins. Okay, now we have everything we need. Let's start by washing the celery stalks and cutting them into long sticks about 6 inches long. They don't have to be exactly 6 inches, just make them a good length for holding in your hand to eat. Next, let's spread some peanut butter on each celery stick. We want just enough so it looks ooey and gooey. Now here's the fun part. We're gonna sprinkle some cranberries or raisins or both on top of the peanut buttery logs. You can add as much or as little as you'd like. I like mine with extra raisins. And there you have it, Very Veggie Peanut Butter Logs.
What's that?
Now here's a recipe as sweet as Mirabelle herself. Mirabelle's Sweet Baked Bananas. First, let's collect all the ingredients. We're going to need 4 bananas, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 orange, 1/4 of a cup of honey, and a scoop of ice cream or frozen yogurt. But let's leave that in the freezer until we're ready. To start off, let's preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now spread some aluminum foil across a baking sheet and set it aside. Next, let's peel all 4 bananas and cut them in half lengthwise. Gently brush the banana halves with butter and place them on the lined baking tray. Next, cut the orange in half and squeeze some fresh juice into a small bowl. Then add the honey to the orange juice and stir. Now pour the orange juice and honey mixture over the bananas on the baking sheet. Now it's time to add it to the oven. Bake for 10 to 12 minutes and remove when the bananas start to look a little soft. For an extra special, extra sweet treat, add a scoop of ice cream or frozen yogurt. Mirabelle would approve.
Here it is. Don't let it get cold.
This next recipe is a winter day favorite here at Beet's Alpine Sweets. In fact, McNeil loves it so much that I'm going to let him take over for this one. McNeil, take it away.
Aye, step back, lad, and make room for Beet's Alpine Sweets Spicy Cider. First, let's get all the ingredients together. We're gonna need 12 cups of apple juice, 3/4 cup of orange juice, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice.
That's a lot of juice, McNeil. Oh, dear.
Root beer? No, why did you, what kind of a tomato are you? There's no root beer in this recipe.
My mistake.
Okay, moving on. 4 cinnamon sticks, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of whole cloves, and 1 orange.
Don't forget, McNeil, you'll also need a cheesecloth and string.
A moldy moth swing? We need a cheesecloth and a string.
That's what never mind.
Now let's get started. Pour the apple, orange, and lemon juices together in a large pot. Next, place the cinnamon sticks brown sugar and cloves in a cheesecloth and tie with a string, making it into a little pouch. Add the pouch to the big pot of juices. Next, let's cut the orange into small wedges and add to the pot.
It's starting to smell just like I remember.
Now, place the pot over medium heat on the stove. Pour into mugs and enjoy!
Thanks, McNeil. Not only does spicy cider taste delicious, but it makes your whole house smell all warm and tingly, too.
Huh! Not bad!